when we may be called upon to give witness, advice, or just be able to answer questions about Jesus. However, this backpack is just a carrier if it has nothing inside of it. So right now, you might have an empty Christian backpack on your back. We'll see. We can put something in it. So let's see what's in the back that we might put in the backpack that might help us at school and on our Christian walk. What's this stuff? Paper. Ah, somebody said it was a notebook. This is paper, isn't it? What's the difference between this paper and this paper? Yeah, this one's all together, isn't it? This one is just sort of what we call loose leaf. Paper is the most used resource at any school. Truly, I can tell you that the paperless generation has not yet come. We haven't got there yet, even though they say we have. In this hand, I have paper that's used one sheet at a time. It's often not kept very long. This, however, has a way to keep it together so you can go back and read what you've already written. And you can do that anytime you want to. In our backpacks, of course in mine, prayer can serve these purposes. God, give me words to deal with this student. You all have your own examples of those short little prayers you send up. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I call those loose leaf prayers. They're important, but they're not ones you want to go back and see again. We all jot off our quick prayers during the day, and you all know what those are. Our days bring many chances to thank God and ask God for things that will make a minute go better. However, the composition book prayers are when you focus on God and have deep conversations with Him. Often you actually do write things down if you keep a prayer journal. But even if you don't, you can tuck these thoughts that might go here in your mind because you need to process them. When God talks to you in those deep conversations, we need to have time to process and to think about what we're being told and reflect upon how we answered it. In school, these are often used for reflection, aren't they? You have to write in them, and then the teacher looks at them, and then she did, they know. They know what reflection is. We also need to do that. Use your different types of Christian paper, either the loose leaf, when it's needed, or the composition book, for prayer and for reflection. And you know what? You're the keeper of the backpack. I'll hand it to you when I'm done. What's this? It's a textbook, yes. What do you use these for in school? What's in them? Do you use them? Do you learn from them? Sometimes. It's a textbook. This one happens to be out of the high school, sorry. In some classes, they are still used, but nowadays we access the information that we need in many different ways, and books are not only our only way to learn. But remember, 2 + 2 still equals 4, no matter what they do with it. However you get to the answer, it might take you 20 minutes if you do it one way, but it's still 2 plus 2 is still 4. In our Christian backpack, we need to carry verses from the Bible so that we can access them when we need them. Sometimes we use the internet to find and study different translations of the Bible that come to let us come to conclusions. But just like 2 plus 2 equals 4, the laws of God will not change. The knowledge of the Bible and its plan for life will always be a large part in our Christian backpack. What's this? A glue stick. She knew what it was right away. It's a glue stick. What's it used for? Exactly, sticking things together, sticking things down on something. There are many types of glue, from Elmer's to Gorilla Glue. But they all do the same thing. They stick things tighter together. In our Christian backpack, we also carry glue. The glue of communion. Every time we partake in communion, it binds us closer to our God. This could be one of the reasons that Alexander Campbell believed that communion should be provided every Sunday. This is one of our church's tenets, so that we can stay close to God. Make sure that you use this glue in your Christian backpack as often as you can. It does your body, your mind, and your spirit good. What's this? Could be stickers. What is it now? Pencils. Yes, it's a pencil case. We have pencils, and we have a pen, and a big eraser. Why do we use pencils and pens? What do we do with them? You can, yes. You can draw and erase. When you get older, what are you going to do with this pencil? You're going to write, yes. You hang on to draw. We're getting there. We're going to write. One of the reasons your teacher asks you to write a story, all of your teachers, about something you did, she or he is hoping you will communicate something about yourself so that he or she can get to know you better. That's why we write, so that we communicate. The things a Christian uses to communicate with God or others are words, just like you use. God gives us his story in the Bible, but he still wants to hear from each of you. Living with God is a two-way conversation, folks. A two-way conversation. Just like learning is a two-way conversation. You must be willing to use the pens and pencils in your Christian life to communicate your story to him through prayer. What's this? It's an eraser. What do we do? What do we use this for? We use it, what? Yes, we can use it to erase the drawing. Why do we erase something? You want to erase a mistake, don't you? Thank you, sir. You're absolutely right. We want to use it to get rid of mistakes. In your Christian backpack, you also have a big eraser. I mean, in the Christian one, it's huge. We have the promise that if you believe in Jesus, your sins will be washed in his blood, and they will be whiter than snow. Everyone here knows that if you use an eraser on paper, however, the paper will never be whiter than snow. Right? Yeah, it's kind of messy. Yet we know that we, as followers of Christ, have Psalm 51:7 that says, "You will wash me whiter than snow, What a promise we carry in our Christian backpacks, folks. And what about this pencil sharpener? How does this sharpener work?
So the tip of the pencil that's black, it sharpens it. So if it's really bold, you sharpen it, and then it gets sharper.
What does this take away from that point? What's in here? What's left in here when you sharpen?
Like the wood.
The wood. Oh, he's really good, folks. A pencil sharpener removes the wood that's hiding the lead so that the pencil works better. Have you ever felt dull and worn out in your faith? Sometimes you need to strip away the old and the comfortable and get a sharper point back again. Just as this sharpener will bring back the point of a pencil, using the sharpener of leaving our comfort zones to do something different might bring back the point to your Christian life. What's this? You sure? Okay, it's a ruler, that's right. What's its purpose? To measure things, that's its purpose. And you're right. A ruler is made to measure things. But when these go to school, they are used for many other things, not always good. When I went to grade school, rulers were the first fidget spinners. We also learned the difference between centimeters and inches or parts of inches. That used to amaze me as I looked at that ruler. There was two things on there at the same time. Unfortunately, some students use the rulers as weapons. Rulers were used by different people for different uses. Even though it is the same object, people see different uses for it. Sometimes Christians can carry a belief in their backpacks, and it becomes repurposed for their own use. A Christian might carry the idea of the widow's mite and give everything they have to a church. They will not feed themselves or their children because they interpret the story to mean that you must give everything you have to God. They are repurposing a story from Jesus and putting their own ideas into it. The worst of these types of repurposing is using the Bible to say that Christians can declare war on others because the Christians believe that they have God on their side. This is dangerous to assume that you can hold God's power for ransom. He is the only one that should hold the power of life and death. Do not believe that you can bend him to your will. Use the ruler of beliefs in your Christian backpack as God intends. In other words, don't hit your neighbor. We haven't talked about something that has always been a part of the start of school for as long as I can remember. What do we use these for? Yes, we color things. And look how many different types of things we use to color with. You color with all of them? Do you, hon? Do you color? Good, good. I have crayons and large markers and small markers and colored pencils in my backpack today. I like things that make colors appear, even though I'm not very good at deciding what goes together. But it is a relaxing thing, and it has had a resurgence with adults in the last few years. We see adult coloring books everywhere. I must tell you that I have bought a new box of crayons. Each year, for the 40 years that I've taught. Now, I teach high school, so it's not that I need them in the classroom. For me, I start thinking about the new school year when I get my box of crayons. All the different colors sit right next to each other without complaint. Each is a different color, but all have the same point at the beginning. They all have exactly the same nice point. We know that the red, the blue, and green will wear down first because we like those colors and we use them a lot. But we always know also that we have other shades of those same colors to back us up. If we use down our red, we can find a crimson in here and we can use it. That's why I like the big box. In our Christian backpacks, we should keep the colors of joy and happiness. Many things make us happy and joyous in our Christian faith. We may do things that make us happy at the time or we remember with happy memories. But as Christians, we also need to be there to step in when our brothers and sisters need help. As the talents of each of us change, we need to be able to depend on our brothers and sisters to use their talents to help our work and joy continue. They might not be the same shade of blue that we are, and they might choose to do it differently, but we need all the colors in the crayon box to complete the picture. I remember one time I was a chairman of a women's group, and I really enjoyed being the chairman of the women's group. Except one day, they voted me out. I didn't take that well, folks. Until I realized that we were doing the same things over and over again in that group because I was coming up with the same things. And somebody else needed to come in with a different shade of color and give me some new ideas and give the group some new ideas. So I needed to take my little shade of blue and go sit back in the group and let the new shade of blue do it to make the group continue. We need them all, folks. We need all the colors. Broad lines or slender lines on the markers, colored pencils perhaps. We don't know which kind we need. We don't know what we need for a particular thing. So we need to have them all available. I'm not the artist that Julie Roush is, but I know that it is important to choose the best medium for the picture. Sometimes it's crayons, sometimes it's markers, and sometimes it's colored pencils, and sometimes it's wood. Make sure that your backpack contains the right mix of talents and fun to complete the picture. I'm going to give my backpack holder some stuff, because I would like this table to be empty when I get done. There you are, my dear. What are these, guys? Headphones. What are they used for? Right? Okay. When I put those headphones on, do I hear everything else? I just hear what's going through the headphones. And the better the headphones are, the more you can shut out the world. We are asked to put we are asked to put a pair of headphones in each of the backpacks. We were warned that earbuds wouldn't do. They had to be this kind. When you put on a pair of headphones and listen to something, it is a personal experience. You and you alone can hear what's being said or played. If you're watching a video on a computer, putting on headphones will mean that you will see and hear the movie individually. If you have noise-canceling headphones, you will not hear anything outside of what's playing in your ears. Folks, these are very important in our Christian backpacks too. When we put on our Christian headphones, they cancel out all the noise of the world so that we can only hear the Lord speaking to us. That takes real focus on the message. You have to know when he's talking. The headphones help us to sort out the message of God from all the other noise that's constantly in the world. Our headphones remind us how important it is to keep our eyes and ears focused on the messages of the Lord. I had a woman I met this summer ask me if I was spiritual. I said yes. Who knows what that means? She told me that she had a terrible trauma when she was 4 years old and had suffered seizures ever since. She had a friend who asked her to come to her house so that they could pray. Now, the woman I met didn't go to church, so praying for something was a new idea. As they prayed together, she felt the Holy Spirit come to her and tell her in her mother's voice that she wants her to be happy. She embraced what happened to her and hasn't had a seizure since that episode. She was focused on expecting something, and she got it. She's not healed, but she wanted to tell someone about what happened to her. I was just glad to be the receiver. I try to pray for her every day that she keeps her focus on God. She would have missed an opportunity to hear the message from God if the world crowded it out. Wear your Christian earphones at least part of every day. Cody, I know you're sitting back there. I need you. Can you tell me who I'm supporting if I wear this shirt? Who am I supporting? Washington. There you go. I teach at Washington High School. We like to wear shirts that tell everyone which school we support. It can be part of our being or a way to let others know where you live or where you work. It lets them know that this group is one you choose to support. I don't have to wear this shirt. I choose to wear it. When you show up with your school shirt on and you're going to a basketball game, there's no question where you sit or for whom you're cheering. You best be sitting in the right part of the gym. It also tells people that you are part of a group of people that are wearing the same thing. Consider, I know you were wondering where Ephesians was coming from, right? Consider what Ephesians 6:13 says about the things you wear. Put on the full armor of God so that when the day of evil comes, you may be able to stand your ground, and after you're done with everything, to stand. The armor of God is not as easy to see with human eyes as this shirt. But we need to put it on always so that we are always able to support our beliefs and let the world know the group that we choose to belong to and the group that has chosen us. It's not easy to be a Christian. People will challenge you and they'll want to engage you to try to make you question what you believe. Now, all of us have questions about God. That's normal. God gave us a questioning mind so that we could fully enjoy and explore the world that he gave to us. But we must be careful that we pose the questions and not let others lead our thinking. Measure everything against what you already believe. There are 3 words that you can always use when someone comes to you with a belief that troubles you. Help me understand. Puts the job on the other person to explain their thoughts. Then when you learn their thought process, you can weigh their thoughts against your beliefs. And after you process it, make sure that they explain their thought process to you before you process in your own mind. I'm going to go to my backpack lady here. We have reached the end of the things that we're putting in our school backpack and our Christian backpack today. There are many other things that could be added. By the time students make it to high school, those backpacks get pretty heavy. As you grow in your Christian faith, your backpack should get heavy too. We have the basics in both our school backpack and our Christian backpack, though. The last thing to do is to give our school backpacks away. The ones that we gave, we didn't fill for ourselves, we filled for the children. We filled them for a student who needed the resources. Consider sharing things from your Christian backpack that you feel others might need on their journey. Unlike the school backpacks, when you share things with others from your Christian backpacks, those things do not diminish, but they grow much stronger. We serve a great God. Amen. Kids, I got something for you. I thank you for your help. And you can all have a new pencil to start school with, as I'm big on pencils.